Hey YouTube, VA Backpacker Dave here. Another review. This review is on this little beauty right here. This is my new custom leather sheath for my Thom Browne Tracker T1, which I'm learning to love, and now I have to love because I love this sheath. Again, I wasn't expecting this to show up until November, and was pleasantly surprised when I got home and checked my mail yesterday, and there it was. This is an incredible piece of leather work. Richard Holloman out of Utah, Rawhide Leather Works. My hat is off to you. This is incredibly, this is far beyond what I was expecting it to be. Much nicer than I thought it would be. You can see this leather is shaped very nicely, tooled very nicely, fits the knife. Very thick leather, very high quality leather, hand sewn. And one thing you're probably noticing, there is no retention strap to keep the knife in the sheath. And the reason for that is down here. These don't go all the way through, so you don't have to worry about them making contact with the blade and scratching your blade up. They go about halfway, 3/4 through the leather, but there is a rare earth magnet that he puts into this thing, located on either side. And anybody that has the Thom Browne, you know how heavy this knife is. Look at that. It is not coming out of there. And this sheath is so comfortable. I went camping last night. I had this on, completely forgot it was there. So a definite improvement over the Kydex sheath that they send with the knife, which I knew immediately. I knew, even before I saw it, it was going to be much better than that. But I literally forgot this was on my belt, even with the weight of the knife. Went to get in my hammock and was like, what the hell's that lump? And remembered that I had still had the knife on there. Richard, again, I gotta say my hat is off to you. This is an incredible, incredible piece of leather work. There was another manufacturer that I was considering, was considerably more expensive, a little more expensive for one version, and they do another version that has a place for a fire steel, which makes it quite a bit more expensive. But I mean, right down to this detail here, if you see, that's his insignia right there. He stamps it into the leather. It's just, Richard, this is a beautiful piece of work. Rawhide Leather Works, look them up on the internet. Highly, highly recommend this sheath. It is beautiful. And Richard, when I got it, he's had a note in there not to use saddle soap or any kind of leather oil that you would put on shoes or saddles or things like that, because it will soften this. He recommends using a snow seal or anything like that that'll waterproof the leather, but don't use anything that's going to soften it. The other thing is, you don't want to store the knife in this. So if you do buy this sheath, keep the Kydex sheath to store the knife in when you're not using it. The thing with leather is leather will retain water if it gets wet, and you don't want to have your knife sitting in there. The other thing, you want to make sure you wipe your blade off before you put it back in the sheath. And this thing should last a lifetime. I couldn't be more pleased with this. VA Backpacker Dave gives this 2 thumbs up. If you have any questions, have trouble finding his website, just post and I'll direct you where you need to go. Rawhide Leather Works, Richard Holloman out of Utah. My hat is off to you. Beautiful, beautiful piece of work. I am very pleased with this. That said, VA Backpacker Dave out. Bye-bye.